Yeah, welcome to you all in this hour and a quarter. I'm going to tell a bit about how you can use Xerte for creating escape rooms. We are not going to dive into models or into subjects or puzzles, but I'm going to show you what things you need in Xerte to create an escape room, and you can also play with it if you want, but I will show that later. If you have questions, please put them in the chat. I try to look at the chat. My colleague Pelle, who would do this session with me, has an urgent matter to attend, but he will join us later. So as soon as he is there, he will also answer your questions. Let's start. My name is Inge Donkervoort. I'm originally a teacher. As you can see of my gray hair, that was a long time ago. And I think 15, 20 years ago, I started working with the computer and using the computer and computer software for helping students with studying and everything they are doing. And I think almost 5, 6 years ago, we started creating escape rooms with Xerte. So that's my role also. I'm from the Xerte team. Xerte is an open source tool, and it's not a commercial company that's creating Xerte, but I will explain that a bit later as well. I'm going to show you some examples also things that are created with AI. So it's a bit of everything. So if you have questions, please put them in the chat. But I will ask you some questions first, because I don't know who you are. And can you add in the chat what your role is in the organization? Just short, type it in the chat. Then I have a bit of an idea of who's here. So I see a lot of learning technologists, I see also some teachers, lecturers, professor. So it's a lot of different roles where you are in. That's nice. Are there any students here as well? I don't think so. Okay. I have another question for you before I start. Who has created an online escape room already with some sort of tool? Please, yes, if you did, and no, if you didn't. Yeah, blended counts, Christine. Okay, great. That's also a lot of different answers. Yeah, that's my next question, Christine. What tool did you use if you created a learning object, or a learning object, I mean an escape room? So I see Google Tools. Are there any other tools that you used? For the ones that said yes, OneNote, yes, we saw some very nice examples yesterday. Swine, ThinkLink, that's for interactive video and 360, I think, or more 360 images. Yeah, and I noticed that Helen Goodbane was also here, and I saw an escape room of her in Xerte. So it's also different tools, and that's also I'm going to show you Xerte, but you can do it in all kind of tools. Just look for the things that they have that you can use for code and for closing down sections and that kind of things. Well, thank you. What you see here is also a Xerte object. So I'm going to present in Xerte as well. I give you the link to this module at the end of the session, so you don't have to write anything down. So you can look the things that I tell you up afterwards. This is what we are going to do. You see the little marks. I tested it on forehand, so I already visited that pages, but a bit of a background, a bit about Xerte, some examples, and then we start on how can you do that. And we have questions, but they come in between as well, I hope. Bit of a background about escape rooms. They are a long time now here. In 2007, the first one was in Japan, and I think there will be before that as well, but it's well known. And that was physical escape rooms. And later on, they are trying to get that in digital form as soon as there were programs that could do that. So it's a long time there, but it's not very well used, or not well often used in education. And the last years you see that that's growing and growing, for introducing a subject, for let them practice with some kind of things, just for fun. There are a lot of reasons why you use an escape room. And then about Xerte, I'm not going to tell you everything about Xerte because it can do a lot, but it's an online tool where you can create media-rich, interactive, highly accessible modules with. And one of the things you can do is building escape rooms, and that's what I'm going to show you. Because it's open source, you can download it on your computer or on your server, or you can go to some of the organizations that can host it for you. So it's open and it's free, and you don't have to buy licenses for it. Another thing is that you can share the modules very nicely with a link, but also for the ones that know that in SCORM packages, so you can also have the results in your learning environment. So there are a lot of ways how you can share the modules, and also to work together on the escape room, also between organizations. So that's a nice thing of Xerte, but I will show this also later. I'm going more to the practical things. Last 2 years, we helped an organization in Belgium, a Belgium school in secondary education, creating escape rooms from so-called edu boxes. And an edu box is text, is videos, is all kind of things around a subject. In this case, in this escape room, it was about money and me. And they asked us, oh, can you help us with creating a escape room in Xerte with that? So I have an example here. I have to say that they are not approved yet. So I have a link here, but I will remove that after the session because we can't spread it yet. So, but I can show it now. And as soon as we can use it, I will tell that. So this is it. It's a pity it's in Dutch, and I know your Dutch is not well, but I will explain a bit. So this is the first page, and here you can start. And then you see a marketplace. This is a 360 image where you can add all kind of activities to. For example, I can go to this building and see, oh, this is a bank. I have to visit this, but not now. Or in this case, hey, this is the bakery. Here you will also be, but not at this moment. And here you have, oh, I have to find the code first before I can go on. Let's see, maybe here. I have to. So here you get a question, and you have to fill that in. And so you are researching. Yeah. So So you are searching on this image to see how you can get the code or something to go further. In this case, the code is, let me see. I think it's this. So I did well, and I get some more information on what to do in the next step. You see the little audio things. They are in Xerte. They are used for accessibility, so you can record your audio as well. So it's text and audio. In this case, it's a very famous Flemish radio DJ that added his voice to this. So that's for them, that's nice to hear. So now I'm on the market, and this is not a 360 image, sorry, the hotspot connector, an image where I can click through, but now I can walk through. Because I'm sharing my screen, it's a bit slow, but I can walk through this image and see what I can do. I'm not going to explain more about this escape room, but as you can see, the images, the 360 images, are generated with AI, but it was AI from a year ago. So if we should create this again, we have maybe better images than we have now, but it's sufficient and it works. What we did with this escape room was test it out. So we did it in teams, and in this case we put a time on it just to do it for fun. Normally you can also let it play out, and then you don't have the time element, but we gave them an hour, and per group they can try to reach the end, and that was very fun to do. So you can do it on your own. You can do it with your parents. That's the purpose of these escape rooms. But you can also do it in groups in your classroom. Yes, Helen, that's true. But then as soon as I go to a new stand-up page or pop-up, it's Dutch again. So I tried it yesterday, but it was not very good. But that's true. You can put 30 objects in your browser into another language. So I'm going to go to the other learning of the escape room that we built. Are there questions about this one? Later, I'm going to show you how you can use those elements, like the 360 page, like a password, that kind of things. No questions at the moment? Okay. Then I go to the next one. That was another edu box, and we did a totally different thing. This is an image of the Museum of Money in Brussels. And they had already a 360 tour. You could walk through the museum online. And we got their images and used those images into the escape room. And then you see that's a totally different image than a 360 image. Oh, sorry, an AI generated image. So this is more real life. I go to the example. This is an escape room based on an EduBox Money and Me. So the other one was Money and the World, and this is Money and Me. And oh, sorry, this is Money in the World, and the other one was Money and Me. In this case, you got in before the museum, and you can click to go in. Then I get some text, what I have to do, and when I know that, okay, I go further, then it says take pen and paper, so you can write things down and you can start. And this, I'm in the hallway, so I can look here, what's there, but I can also, when I go to the other side, I see a lock. This is the way out. I can't get out anymore before I finished all the puzzles. So I have to find all the puzzles here. and try to solve those with my group or alone, and then I can go further in the, let me see where we have to go. I have to see some things, I can give an answer, and what I have to do is find the money everywhere, and at the end it's going to ask me where I have my money. In this case, the first room is open, so I'm going into another room, and so I can walk through the museum, do all the assignments, and trying to escape at the end. A very different approach than the one that we had in the other example. I see some questions. Which AI tool was used for the images? In this case, DALL-E was used, but that's a year ago. So there are a lot of others, and also DALL-E that you can use to create the 360 images. I'm curious what prompts you use to generate a marketplace image that you can walk through. What sort of files are chosen? Is it a series of static images, something else? No, it creates, we created, we had a prompt. I don't know what the prompt was, but a colleague of mine did that. And it's not a series of images, it created this image. And a lot of other images. And what's nice to know, that I'm going to show you Xerte, but this is not in there yet. This summer there will be an AI version of Xerte. There you can find images in the different free libraries, but you can also create, if you use, for example, ChatGPT or something else, you can also create images, but you can also create 360 images. So we try to do that in Xerte itself, so that you don't have to go out and do everything in another tool again. Also hope you show us some of the logic of using images from Google Maps. This is really compelling. Yes, I'm not going to show that, but I can tell it. There is a tool that you can download where you can download the photos of Google Maps, but there is copyright. So in this case, we had approval from the museum to use them. So you can do that, but always ask if you can use them. But if you look in Google on download image from Google Maps, then you get information how to do that. Okay, for example, here you find a €5 billet, and there's a little note on it, and then this is the note. I get some more information, and so I'm going to walk through the whole escape room. Yes, Helen, AI in Xerte. I'm going to show you a little bit, but it's the beta version, but I will show that later as well. Are there any questions about these examples? No? Then I'm going to ask you a question, and please use the chat again. When you see examples like this, do you get an idea for an escape room that you would like to build? Just a subject using those images or 360 images, or do you have an idea for an escape room that you want to create? Just put the subject in the chat. Geraldine, I'm curious to know what idea you have. It doesn't have to be a long answer, but yes, campus introduction for new students. Yeah. Yes, Christine, I can imagine that. Okay, sustainable tourism adventure. That's a nice one. Picture high school science lab intro to microbiology or genetics. Locked in the physics labs. and you have to escape. Also lab indication. Yeah, it's nice to see that it gets you thinking about, oh, what can we do with it? But it's true. It takes a lot of time to create a good escape room. So you can't do it in an hour or so. But when you have it, you can use it over and over again. And it's really a fun and good way to work with your students or with your colleagues on subjects. Okay, in this learning object, or sorry, this module, I have some other examples, like this one. It's an escape room where you have to escape. You're locked in by your students, and when I click on it, I am in. But what you can do, for example, and this is just a small example, I put the letter M and the letter X. Let me see, because yeah, the letter M and the letter X are bold, and I don't say anything else. But what I could do is put sort of a lock here that you can't go in before you have the code to use. And in this case, it's very, very simple. But you can do a lot of things with simple quizzes or answers or letters or that kind of thing. So I'm going in again. I'm going to make this bigger. This is a classroom, and a nice thing here, this is just an image where you add hotspots or text or whatever. So I'm here, I have to click on things to find things out. For example, here on the computer, I can go back. But he also built in, this is from Menno de Waal from het Graafschapscollege in the Netherlands. He also built in, for example, that you can put off the light. And when you put it on again, this is just 2 pictures. And when I press this hotspot, I'm on another image with the lights out and the lights on. Now, in this case, I know I have to go behind this wall. There I can do some other things, and I have to find my clues, and then I can go back. That's here. I'm spoiling it a bit. You can also see a little paper here. That's also important. So you get a lot of signs what you have to do to get out this classroom. This was a classroom just for fun. So in the in the module you get these examples as well, and those are all also already open, so you can try them out. I have another one. This is made by Wilma Hodges from Longside, and I think last year or the year before she did this escape room in this showcase. It's about a campus, and I saw the yeah. I saw the subject about campus and getting around in the campus. This is a nice one to do, but this is from the Sakai organization. So they have Dr. Sakaiger and the zombies. So it's really a zombie escape room, but also really nice one to do. Also in Xerte, where different things. They also start with an email with the letters bold, and just try it for fun if you want. And if you can't get out, give me a sign. I'll send you the clues. Let's see in the chat. We've been talking about National Robotorium, about when his Vikings taking over. Yeah, nice idea. Yes, I see the ideas are coming. Okay, Joanna did this one, was really fun, but didn't realize at that time it was built in Xerte. Okay, it's never too late to learn, Joanne. So you can do it again because it's here in this module. And this is nice. Helen Goodman is also in this session. She did this, I think, yesterday. Helen, did you? This is a new...
Yes, that's right. The student interns on a master's course, they created this one with their tutor.
Yeah. So I put it in this morning, in this? Maybe you can tell a bit about it. Just Helen?
For those who weren't in the session yesterday, it's a series of 3 rooms created by 3 student interns on their master's course as preparation for employment. So it's to go through and solve puzzles, get out of each room, and defuse the bomb at the end. It's about data breaches and phishing and cybersecurity, basically.
Yeah, and you used 360 image in Xerte, I'd see.
Yes, yes, we did.
Yeah, and also use the logs, so you have to find something without a bit, otherwise you can't go further. So
yes, it has a linear sort of structure.
Yeah. So this example is also in here, so you can take a look at that again. Thank you, Helen. This is an old one from Helen. This is the first one, Helen, we did together. Dr. No Access, and this is about accessibility. And that at that time we didn't have a 360 image page, so we used images and all kind of other things. But it's more simple, but also effective. So take a look if you have time at that escape room. I put this in because this is the 360 image page, and since this is in Xerte, it's used a lot for escape rooms, but also for getting to know your school or your classroom or all kind of other things. And you can walk around, you can add text, you can add video, you can add everything on it. And you think, oh, but this is difficult to create images like this. One, you can download them. There are libraries that have 360 images that you can use for free. 2, since AI, you can also create them with AI, but that costs a lot of energy and tokens. And 3, you can create an 360 image just with your camera. On your camera from your phone, you can use the panorama. I don't know what it's called in English. Panorama view. Does anyone know how that's called? And you can go around. Yeah, you can go
panorama.
around. Yeah, you can go around and make a panorama photo, and you can upload that in Xerte. Then you can also go round and seeing what you have the photo of. The difference is if you use a 360 camera, this is with the 360 camera, that you have a ceiling and a floor. And when you use the panorama photo, you don't have a ceiling and a floor. But it's very easy to use, and just add it in and you can create your own escape room. I'm not going to go into this because in the other sessions there was a lot of information that you have to prepare, that it does take a while before you can start, because you have to find the code, you have to find the puzzles, you have to make sure that you have all the media that you need. So the preparation is very important. But what I add here is some pages you can use from Xerte. Xerte has 74 interactive or pages and a lot of interactivities in it. So I can imagine that when you start that you don't know what to use. So these pages are used a lot in escape rooms. And what you also can do is, for example, when you have JD that's making puzzles, you can add one, you can embed them into Xerte, so you don't have to create it in Xerte when it's not there, but you can embed materials as well. So, and then work together with the tools. So you have your learning goals. I'm not going to go into that. The distribution I already told a small thing, but you can use a link, you can embed it in your learning environment, you can use SCORM packages, you can use LTI. there's also a possibility of an offline zip package, but then you can't use videos from YouTube or so, but only the materials that are in the module itself. And with XAPI, for the ones that know that, you can record everything the student is doing, where he's, how long he is somewhere, if he did it right, how long he's watching at the video, all that kind of things you can record and can present in a dashboard. And where can you find the images? I have a small list here. Deltium College created this one. And one of the things that I mentioned is this Pixit. They have 360 panorama and images. They used to have very good images, but lately I saw that it's all AI generated. But maybe for the goal that you want it for, it's good enough. So here's a list where you can use, look at the different repositories where you can free images. Okay, then this was the part about what I'm going to show. We are now going into Xerte itself. What do you want me to show you? And I don't have to forget that I show you in Xerte. Can you write it down in the chat? How to put a 360 photo and add a hotspot to it, yes? How to lock a hotspot, okay, that's also the 360 photo. And any other things? Can you show the back end of an interactive puzzle, something like Handman? Yes, I can do that. Write it down. Can you have conditional elements that only work if you have picked up a clue? Yeah. How to know how many and who have completed the escape room? Yes, okay. To go to the how to know how many and who have completed the escape room. If you just use the link, then you don't know, except that you can ask your students, send me an email with the code, how you got out, for example. But if you use something like SCORM, or no, SCORM is not a good example, LTI or XAPI, then you can have also everything they do and see that. But then you need some more than Xerte. That's not only Xerte, you also need a database where you can store all the results. So you can also do this in a Teams meeting and see who is ready. So there are a lot of things that you can do. And what works and what doesn't. I heard some tips before. If the escape room is too long and it's in your browser, as soon as they, the Xerte escape room then, as soon as they refresh, they have to start over again. So you can better make it a bit smaller and tell them, don't go out of the escape room, and because then you have to start over again. They have the codes then, so it's easier, but that could be frustrating. So be aware of that, and make sure that you test, because what happens to me also was that they get in a loop and then they can't get out, and that's very frustrating. So also let others test. Okay, now we go into working with it. I have a question for you. If you want, you can test it for yourself, and then you have to go to this URL. I will put that in the chat as well. And then I have different usernames, and So username demo1 till username demo25 and everything in between. So the username in this case is demo1, but don't use that one. Or demo25 till demo20 to demo25, and then the password is I will put it in here as well, demo1 demo1. If you want to use this, I let it open for a month or two. Please put in the chat which one you take and you use, then the others know, oh, I have to take another one. So you can, when I'm playing around, you can do it yourself in the speelplaats as well. Yeah, I don't see any doubles at the moment. So, yeah. Okay. I give you a moment to go in there. If you don't go in there, also okay, I'm going to show it on the screen as well. If you have a Xerte installation in your institute, then you can also download this example I'm going to show you. And you can download it here, and then you can upload it in your Xerte installation, or you can take a look at the example I'm going to use. I think the next slide here is the questions one. That's for the end. Okay, so I'm going to go to the speelplaats. And I'm going to log in with demo1. Let me see. Oh, this is not working. Is it working for you now? Is someone in? Okay. This is the presentation effect. I will make sure that this will work after the session, but I can't do anything about it now. So please keep your credentials, then you can log in afterwards. I will make sure that this will work tomorrow. So I'm going in then with my own account. I'm in my own account now. When you log in, you only see workspace. I will put it in English. Workspace and recycle bin. These are all my examples. But okay, great. And then the X, Malcolm, is the number that you had? Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. So when you're in, you see this, workspace. It looks a bit old-fashioned, and it is old-fashioned, but there's a big project at the moment going on, sponsored by the government of the Netherlands, to make this more modern. If you have an open source tool, they look at functionalities and they don't look much at how it looks. So we have to do a bit of work on that. But I think at the end of this year, maybe beginning next year, it will look modern again. But it works. So that's the main thing. If you're in, you can create a module, escape room from scratch. But I would not advise that when you start for the first time. Okay, so when I click here on the right side, I click on create. And then I have a drop-down list. And in the drop-down list, there is escape room codes example. And I give it a name, ER1 in this case. And I click on create. then you get a pop-up. Sometimes that won't appear, but then your pop-up blocker is on, probably. So this is on the, it's not the back end of Xerte, but the back end of this escape room, where it's created from, all the pages that are in. And you see here on the left side, all the pages that are in. And in the middle, there you have to fill in everything that you want to have in that page. And you have all kind of extra properties, but you don't need that when you are using this. I'm going to show you what the example is before we are going to create some things. Joanna, I see that it's still not working for you. Maybe you can use another one, and then instead of the X, use the number. I will make it bigger. So this is the example. And these are the things that I'm going to show you how to create. So you have the 360 image page. That's one of your questions. You can do things with access codes. You can use the hotspot connector page. That was the one from the marketplace, the first page. Answer of X of I, that's an interactivity that's in Xerte. Or you can use a decision tree. Okay, yes, Joanna. So we start with the 360 image example. In this case, I have some information, and I go to use start. Now I'm in the 360 image page. I can look a bit around, and if there are any hotspots, let me see. Oh, here's one to go out. So I have to find something else here. Let me see. Oh, here's one. I don't see it when I'm, it's not visible, but when I hover, it's visible. So it's a purple piece of paper. So I can say, okay, the capital is Amsterdam, check, my answer is correct. And I get a bit of a code, CA. Then I go, let me see, here is another one. And the last one is PE. Then I think it is escape. So somewhere else there is another one, but I'm going to escape. So I will add here. Here you see a password to go further. Escape. I'm out of this room. I'm on the street, and I can go further to the next example. I'm going to show you how you create it on the Xerte itself. This is another one. If I go, for example, I have a text page and I go to a next text page, I can say you can only go further when you have a password. So I can put a password on that page. In this case, I have to know the access code for this. This just an example. It's 13. So when I go to the next page, I get a password on the page. And in this case, it's in the middle. So I add 13, check, and I'm on the page. But I can do it the same. That's the same functionality. I can also put a locker on it, or locker, now that's a vault on it. And I can do the same, or I can do a locker. So you can do it in different ways. So you can add a locker on a page. The hotspot connector page, that's just an image where you can add hotspots to. In this case, this is an image. And I can go to the next page. I can put a locker on that, and I can have different hotspots on this page. In this case, I only have one. Oh, and what you also see is here on the bottom, you can put out the navigation. So they have to do the things on the page because they can't use the navigation. So I go to the next one. This is an example X of I page. This is also the hotspot connector page. I have different things in here. So had different things that I can do. But when I go here, I find out everything what's on that page. And now I have to answer 2 questions. So when is Halloween? Nobody knows when Halloween is? A, okay. And then I'm going to the next one. And what is Halloween related to? All Saints Day or Christmas? The Y, okay. So I got a code and I can go further. So I click here. And this is the X of I page. Normally you can answer a lot of things, but in this case I use only one. And that was AI. And that's good. And I can go here to continue. That's the X of I code thingy you can use. And the last one is a decision tree code. I have to something wrong here. I don't have the. Wait a moment. What I did was, yeah. Yes, it's here. I didn't have a navigation, but here it is. I already put in the answers here, but you can imagine that you have let them play or see things or text or images or whatever video, and then they have a range of answers that they have to put in. In this case, the answer is bird, calf. Oh, it's first bird. Then I go to the next one. Then it's calf. I go to the next one. It's horse. I go to the next one and it's cows. And then I correct the code and I can go further to the end of the module. So this is all kind of examples that you can use in Xerte. There are much more, but these are a few. So this is the back end of the module. Let's see how much time I have. Okay. There were most questions were about 360 image based, so I'm going to show that one, and that's this one. You see a little plus if your screen is big enough before this one. I click on that, and then it will open everything that's in there. So what you see is this page. I can show it, where you can wander around. And in this, the first one is the office, and the second one was the one on the street. But when I'm in the office, I have 4 things that can happen, and I added a picture. And this is just a 360 image or your panorama photo or one you download from internet, and you just add it in here. And how do you do that? You have a little arrow here, and I come in my media folder, it's called, but you can forget that. I can go to my own computer, get the image that I need. It's in my media folder, and I just, this is a screenshot. This is the 360 image. I just double click and it's in there. And then I can add a hotspot or a new scene, and a new hotspot, those are this ones, and a new scene, those are this ones, or that's that one. I already have hotspots here, but for example, if I want to create a new hotspot, so it's in the end, then I go to the image. I say put a hotspot on this thing. Oh, maybe we can put it, this is the wrong one. Okay, I will put it here. And I say approve. And I created the hotspot. I can do things with how its appearance is, hotspot appearance, the color, what kind of thumbnail or icon I use, that kind of things, but I'll leave it black and in this case. So I added the hotspot. Let me see. And then I say, for example, put some text or view some, let's see some text when you click on it. If I go to the example now again, we are in the room, and there on the little photo, there is an hotspot. If I click on that, I get the text. But I can add a video. I can add also a link to another page. I can add all kind of things in there. Let me see. There was another question for the hotspot 360. What was it? Let me see. A hotspot, yeah. Lock of the hotspot. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to close this one. Then it's also an optional property, so you can add it if you want to lock the hotspot. And if I click on this, it will show up in the middle, and I just have to fill it in. I can also say hide it, or lock and hide. That can also work, but I'm not going to hide it. And unlock after viewing a scene or a hotspot. So you can only dislock it. Example for when you go out of the room, and you have to do this at the end. Then they have to see all the hotspots before they can go out. So you can use that one. Or when you use a password. So in this case, I'm using a password. I will use the password XX. I can give some instructions here. And when I publish this now, and I'm going to look what we created. So it's locked, and it's locked with a password, and the password is XX. And now it's open, and I can use it. So that's it. Okay. Any tips? Let me see. You can use variables for equations in Xerte, which could be used to generate random equations, I think. I haven't done this yet. Yes, that's possible. That's called the variables. So you can have each time another example or another assignment. For example, 1 + 1, and when you click the next time on it, it's 5 + 5, and you can create all kind of questions with that, whether just program, just fill it in once. Okay. So are there any other questions about the hotspot 360 page you can use for the escape room? It's quiet, so I think not. Then the other questions that were put in, let me see.
I think we've covered them, Inge. Will I stop recording at this point, and then we can see if other people want to come on then?
Yeah, I want to show one other thing.
Oh, okay.
Because it's so easy, and what I showed now with the 360 image, I can imagine that it could be a bit overwhelming, and you have to practice it first. But what's very easy was what I said. You have a page, and then you want to go to another page. Just put in a lock on it, and that's this example I created with number 14. I will add a text page on the end, playing text at the end. So it's here on the end. It's, I start here, and I found the code somewhere. This is a text page. And then the next page, for example, a title page. I just add something in, but you can use images, you can use videos, whatever you want. But I want to let them go to this page when they have found somewhere the code in the learning object, in the module. And the only thing I have to do is add again an optional property, and it's called, let me see, access code is the first one. So I add an access code here. My access code is again XX. Type is the default in this case. I can add some text to it, and I change the label. So if we go now to that page, and I'm going to show what it does. So I have my first open page where they can go. I go to the next page, and there I have my log, and I have to add XX, try it, and I'm on the next page. For the clever students here, you see here page 20. So they can also say skip page 20, put here page 21, and then they can go to the next page. To stop them from doing that, if you use an escape room, on the top of your escape room, there is the possibility to force first page. And that means that they never can skip pages and go to the next pages. I hope I have given you some ideas to play with Xerte. You can play with Xerte. Send me a mail. If it doesn't work, then I give you access to the playground.